we are the last reporter, and our topic is all about the introduction to chromatographic methods. But before that, before we proceed to our report, let me introduce myself together with my co-reporter. By the way, my name is John Rock Ubianda.
And I am Princess Ella Esvidad, Angel Day Sinet, and I am Rachel B. Aino.
And we are the last reporter.
So, good morning everyone. So, I am the first reporter and my topic is the introduction to chromatographic methods. Chromatography is a laboratory technique used to separate the components of a mixture based on their movements through two phases, a stationary phase and a mobile phase. The separation occurs because different substances have varying solubilities and affinities for these phases, causing them to move at different rates. It is widely used in chemical laboratories and industries for analysis, identification and isolation, and verification of chemical compounds. Chromatography can separate even very small quantities of substances, from nanograms to kilograms, depending on the scale of the process. Chromatography depends on physical interaction like absorption, diffusion, and solubility. The common types are high-performance liquid chromatography, which is an HPLC, and gas chromatography, GC, both of which use columns packed with stationary material through which samples passes. So, chromatography is a technique na gamit sa laboratory para mapulang ang mga sagol o components sa mixture. Kini nagagamit og duha ka phase mao ang stationary phase and ang mobile phase. Stationary phase mao ang mulihok, then ang mobile phase mao ang dili mulihok. Ang mga parts sa mixture mulihok sa lain-lain sulin depende sa kung unsa sila ka solubility o kung unsa sila kadali masagol sa matag phase. Mao ni ang reason nga mapubulang ang mga parts sa usa ka sample. O ginagamit sila sa mga laboratory o sa industriya sa pag-analyze o pag-ila sa matag phase o pag-review sa mga chemical na compound. Pwede kini gamiton sa gagmay nga sulod bisan gamay lang yun siya masampol andun sa lakaw nga end of production. Ang proseso ng chromatography nagsalig sa mga physical na interaction sama sa absorption, diffusion, o solubility sa duha ka phase. Ang mga kagaraang klase niini mao ang HPLC o ang GC. Diin ang sample moagi sa tubo nga napuno sa stationary sample para sa proseso sa pagbulag. So ipasabot na ko kung unsa ang high performance liquid chromatography, HPLS, and gas chromatography, GC. So ang HPLS usa ka klase sa chromatography na nagagamit og liquido or liquid isip mobile phase. Ang sample moagi sa usa ka tube or column nga napulang sa stationary material. Ang pressure nga gigamit taas kayo aron makalihok og likido o mabulang ang mga sabon. So, ang example sa high performance liquid chromatography kay example gigamit ang HPLC sa pabrika sa tambal aron masuso kung unsa ang mga sapak sa usa ka tambal o aron may balhan kung review ba kini or pwede ba siya magamit ng produkto. So next, ang gas chromatography, GC. So ang GC kay usa sa kaklase sa chromatography nga nagagamit og gas isip mobile phase. Ang sample kinahanglan mahimong gas o na pinainit aron method, a gas is used of carrier that moves the samples through the heated tube. Later, I will explain the heated tube. While passing through the tube, the different components separate based on their own chemical and properties. Gas chromatography are frequently hyphenated to mass spectrometry, which is diagram will explain to you that mass spectrometers to enable the identification of the chemical components. The sample first is introduced into the gas chromatography either with a syringe or transferred from an autosampler that will also extract the chemical components from solid or liquid sample matrix. The sample is injected into the GC and then through a seed cup, which enables the injections of the sample mixtures without losing mobile piece. So there are two types of pieces, which is the gas solid chromatography and gas liquid chromatography. Gas solid chromatography, the mobile piece is a gas while the stationary piece is a solid. Gas liquid chromatography, the mobile piece is a gas, a liquid retained, while the stationary piece is a liquid retained to the surface and an insert solid by the absorption of chemical bonding. Okay, let's proceed to the mobile piece. Mobile piece is a liquid gas that carries the sample, and while the stationary piece is a solid material that remains fixed and interacts with component sample. The mobile piece, there is a function. First is there is a mixture of components to be separated through the stationary piece. While stationary piece interacts with components of the mixtures slowly down from movement and leading to separation. So diri na mag-lead ang stationary piece para ma-separate ang mga samples na imong gi-inject. Okay, let's proceed. The analytical column is filled in a column oven which heated during the analysis to elute the less volatile components. I will explain the volatile later. After injection into the GC, and then the chemical components of the samples are first vaporized if they are already in a gas phase for low concentration samples and also for high concentration samples.
mga samples. Mobile gas cap is in a cylinder. So, ang mobile gas is cap siya kanulong sa cylinder and also connected with column. While mobile stationary connected with column to separate unwanted, to separate their mga samples na imong i-inject like unwanted na mga hydrocarbons, water vapors, and oxygen that may interfere sample during the analysis. Okay, let's proceed to detector. At the end of the column, there is a detector which detects your samples. Just before the column, there is a septum. Kani mo ni ang septum, kaling diri sa sulod, mo ni siya ang gitawag diri is septum to inject your sample or the sample. The temperature of the injection region lower than 20 to 50 Celsius, higher than the column, mas taas siya sa column. Okay, during the analysis, the temperature is already capped between 150 to 300 Celsius C. So, mas taas siya. Separation based on the mobile piece and stationary piece, like we said, which is volatile components. Volatile component, the less volatile molecule is direct to stationary piece. Move slowly, while the more volatile is fast. Mas fast ay hamdagan sa column. And also, once the detector is completed, the detector is to detect at the end of the column. Okay. Therefore, by selecting the type of column to use, the volatility and the functional groups of the analysis should be considered to match the stationary, which is katong we discussed kanina. Based on the latter, which vary percentage of dimethyl, dimethyl, or mid-polar functional group. Those molecules capable of interaction can be separated on stationary pieces containing phenyl groups. Those capable of hydrogen bonding, for example, acid alcohols, are separated with columns unless undergone derivations to make them less polar. So, my conclusion about gas chromatography. Gas chromatography is very important of laboratories and researchers. Why? It's because laboratories, it helps analyze substances such as oil, food, and medicine to know their components and purity. In short, gas chromatography helps scientists and laboratories, researchers to detect and measure the chemicals are present in samples. Okay, I hope you understand my discussion for today. Let's proceed to General Obianga to discuss you about mass spectrometers. And thank you.
Hi everyone! Again and again, nandito ako sa inyong harapan. Ang pangalan ko ay, my name is Jarrell Obianda, and I am the third reporter of our report. So my topic is all about the mass spectrometry and gas chromatography, or GCMS. So the mass spectrometry gas chromatography is an analytical technique that combines the separation of ability of gas chromatography, or GC, with the identification power of mass spectrometry, or MS. It is used for both qualitative and quantitative analysis of chemical compounds. In GC, compounds are separated based on how long they take to pass through the chromatographic column, known as their retention time, or TR. Each compound exits the column at a specific time and produces a peak on the chromatogram. In MS, these separated compounds are ionized from molecular and fragment ions which are then separated by their mass to charge or MS ratio. The detector records these ions to produce a mass spectrum which helps identify each compound. So GCMS stands for gas chromatography and the MS stands for mass spectrometry. This too is a powerful laboratory technique used to separate, identify, and measure the different chemicals and the mixtures. This is very important because it helps scientists find out what substances are present and how much of each there is. It's like discovering what ingredients make up a mystery sample. You can think of it as a two-step detective process. Number one, the gas chromatography or GC. Muna siya ang nag-separate the substance, and ang mass spectrometry or ang MS nag-identifies of what those substances are. So muna siya ang duha, ang mass chromatography or GC and mass spectrometry or MS. So here's what happens inside the machine. So if you see, na picture niya gi-provide dito sa kilid. So muna siya ang mga naa sa machine. So, first, kay ang sample injection. Mao siya ang nasa machine at makita niyo na sa picture na akong gi-provide na sa kilid. So, first is the sample injection. So, the sample, kanang maliquid man na siya or gas, is placed in the injector. Ibutan siya sa injector. Then, the injector hits the sample, turning into what? Turning into, mausama siya, turn it into gas, so it can travel through the column na nasa sa picture. So next kay separation. So part niya po siya na nasa machine. So separation in the column sa gas chromatography ni siya ma-part. So the gaseous sample is pushed by a carrier gas, usually sa helium, through thin column. Inside, sulod ani sa column, each compound interacts differently with the column coating. Ang uban kay mag-move siya o fast, then ang uban sab kay mag-move sab siya o slow lang. And because of this, the compound separate and come out one by one at different times. So next is the retention time, as you can see na sa picture. So number 3 is the retention time or ang PR. So the retention time is the amount of time a compound spends inside sa column before siya mo abot sa detector. So each substances has its own unique retention time. For example, if you look at my chromatogram, if you look at my chromatogram picture, each peak we see represents a compound that came out at a certain time. So, a short retention time means it interacted more with the column and came out later. So next is the chromatogram and pitch analysis. The x-axis of the chromatogram represents the retention time, while the y-axis represents the response or signal from the detector. So, in short, the x-axis, kay mo na siya ang time or retention time, while ang y-axis, kay mo na siya ang signal or detector response. Each peak, one chemical compound separated by the GC. So, number 4. Proceed ka sa number 4. Simple, asa na mag-proceed. So, number 4, makita niyo sa nasa kong picture. So, 4 is the detection and ionize sa MS ni siya ma-part. Sa mass spectrometry, part ni siya. So, after leaving the GC column or gas chromatography column, each compound enters the mass spectrometer or MS. inside, it's bombarded with electrons, breaking it into smaller charged pieces nga gitawag og ions. Kaning mga ions are separated according to their mass to charge ratio, or N-Z. So number 5 is the mass spectrum and data interpretation. So the mass spectrometry produces a mass spectrum for each compound, like fingerprint nga maka-identify usa nga substance. And the computer compares this spectra to a library of known compounds to determine the exact identified sa each substance. So ano siya? And the last one, which is the results. Chromatogram plus spectra. So the gas chromatography part gives you the chromatogram, the graph na ang peaks and retention time. The MS part gives the mass spectra, the identification of each compound. Together, they show what compounds are in the sample and how much of each nga naadara. So now let's proceed to baseline. The baseline is the flat line when nothing is detected. Peak width tells how sharp or spread out the signal is. The next is the peak height and area. Shows the amount of each substance. Next is the peak shape. Peak shape helps us know if the system is working properly. So the baseline is the flat part of the graph, na nasa graph. So it's what the detector reads when walay gawas. Mo siya ang baseline. And the peaks are the signals that appear when a compound exits the column and is detected. Mo siya ang peaks. Mo siya ang part. And then the height of the peak nga mag-tell us sa ato unsa sa ka-strong ang signal nga anaa. So kanang siya, which means more of the compound if taas iya strong ang iyang signal. So the area under that can be used to measure how much of the compound nga anaa sa usa ka sample. So if peaks kay sharp and separated, then ang GC kay naggather sa ugmaayo. But if the peaks are wide or overlapping, kana napasabot nga the separation wasn't perfect. So here's my simple explanation ana kuan. So imagine you have a perfume sample. Imagine you have a perfume sample, the last picture. Ang perfume sample is made of several chemicals, mga lalansyang chemicals, nagahatag o kahumot sa usa ka perfume. Pero, when you put it in the GCMS, the gas chromatography separate those chemicals. Ang usa, mugawa siya sa GC nga 2 minutes, and then ang usa, and then another at 5 minutes, and another na sub at 8 minutes. So those times are their retention times. The peaks nga anaan nato sa akong chromatogram. Then the MS or the mass spectrometry identifies each one. For example, it might tell you example sa peak at 2.3 minutes. Sa oras kay 2.3 minutes, ninggawas siya dito nga ana siya kay usaha na siya ka alcohol compound. And the next is the peak at 5.7 minutes. Sa 5.7 minutes ninggawas kay fragrance ester to siya. Then next na pud kay sa 8.1 minutes ninggawas dito kay fixative compound. So mo na siya ang sa perfume. So this is what our GCMS chromatogram shows several peaks at different retention times. Each peak represents a different compound that was detected in the sample ng perfume. So, ma-detect niya kung usa ang naa sa usa ang mga naa nga compound sa usa ka sample ng perfume. So, inana mag-work ang GC&S. So, mag-proceed ta sa data from GC&S. So, yeah, now let's proceed to data from GC&S. So, GC&S produces three-dimensional data. So, uso na 3 ka buo. Ako na nag-istorya ganina. Maunis lang ang first, ang retention time. So, usa na retention time. Retention time when the compound exits the column. So, kung nag-explain ganina, bago lang nag-explain ang pasabot sa retention time. Nakaabot sa pins, sa magawas, sa oras. So, maunis na ang retention time. Understand? Yes! Maunis siya ang retention time. So, ang ikaduha sa three-dimensional data kay ang signal intensity. So, signal intensity nagpasabot na how much of the compound is present. So, mauna siya ang ikaduha sa three-dimensional data na produces sa GC&S, ang signal intensity. So, now let's proceed to number 3. So, number 3. Ang number 3 kay ang mass spectrum. So, ang mass spectrum kay ang kasabataan kay identifies the compound based on its mass pattern. These combinations allows GC&S to identify unknown substances, confirm molecular structure, and determine chemical composition. So, mauna siya ang three-dimensional na produces by the GC&S. So, first is, sa ito, ang first is ito, kung diha guys, nakabasa mo, naminaw mo diha. So, ang first kay, again, retention time. Ikadua kay ang signal intensity. Ang ikatulo kay ang mass spectrum. So, mauna sila ang GC&S produces sa three-dimensional data. So, muna siya ang data from GC&S. So, muna sila, na-explain naman ako kanina sa ang retention time, kung sa ang signal intensity, kung sa ang mass spectrum. So, now, let's proceed to strength of gas chromatography. Naku na strength ang gas chromatography, no? Hindi lang dahil sa mga tao-tao, no? Naku na strength ang gas chromatography. So, now, let's proceed to gas chromatography. So, the strength of gas chromatography, first, highly accurate, sensitive, and reliable. So, mauna siya ang strength sa gas chromatography. And ikaduha, ang strength sa gas chromatography can analyze hundreds of compounds in different states. Solid man siya, liquid man, or gas. Iyakan ang ma-analyze. And then ikatulo kay widely used in research or clinical labs and environmental testing in industry. So, kanang mo na siya strength sa gas chromatography. Ang kanang sab siya, magamit sab siya sa research, magamit siya sa clinical labs, magamit siya sa environmental testing and industry. So, ano magamit man siya sa environmental testing? Ano man siya magamit man siya raw? So, magamit na siya sa environmental testing because diha nato makuan, ma-identify o kaning nabay pollution sa air, nabay pollution sa water. So, importante sa siya. So, ang next strength of gas chromatography kay easily connected, hyphenated to other analytical techniques like mass spectrometry. So, mauna sila ang mga strengths sa gas chromatography. So, now let's proceed to limitation. So, now po na limitation ang mass spectrometry and gas chromatography or GC&S. Tapos siya limitation. So, the limitation is limited to volatile and thermally stable compounds. Muna siya ang limitation niya. Appeal na siya sa limitation. Next is the compounds with high molecular weights or that decompose at high temperature cannot be analyzed effectively. So, nga siya. So, muna siya ang limitation. So, next is requires careful system maintenance to avoid contamination and ensure consistent results. So, ano siya ang mga mga limitations sa mass spectrometry and gas chromatography or GCMS. So, ito siya ko report na about sa mass spectrometry and gas chromatography or GCMS. So, important naman siya. So, why it is important? So, important naman siya. So, it also used in forensics, drug testing, environmental testing, and food analysis. It also gives both qualitative or what and quantitative of how much ang result. So, mo na siya ang strength, mo na siya ang gibasa na ang strength of gas chromatography. So now, mupusin dyan ko na sa limitation. Now, get ko explanation sa limitation. So, ang limitation, akong gimod ganina, only works for volatile. Easily vaporized lang siya, compounds. Also, it's not suitable for large or heat-sensitive molecules because they can break down. Additionally, sa limitation, it also needs a well-maintained system because contamination can affect accuracy. So, muna siya akong ipang-istorya ganina or akong ipang-basa ganina about sa limitation sa gas chromatography of mass spectrometry or GCMS. So now, the question is why GCMS is important. So, in your own opinion, if nakadoon ka ani, so why GCMS is very important? Why gas chromatography or mass spectrometry is important? So, let me explain to you. In my own opinion, so GCMS is very important because it is used in many fields such as una, sa forensics. Pero importante siya sa forensics because forensics, as I said earlier, it helps us to identify sa mga drugs or sa mga poisons. Mo na siya importante siya sa forensics lab. Gas chromatography or GCMS. It also used environmental testing. Importante na siya sa environmental testing. So, ako po siyang i-explain sa environmental testing because it helps us to check sa pollution, sa air, or sa tubig. And also, sa food safety side, it helps us to detect additives or contaminants. So, importante sabsiya. And now, also importante sabsiya sa research and medicine because it helps us to study chemical compounds and it's one of the most accurate and sensitive methods in modern chemistry. So, mauna siya ang importante kaayo ang nakuha report sa mass spectrometry and gas chromatography and GCMS. Again, my report is all about the mass spectrometry and gas chromatography. And that's how my report works. So, mauna siya ang nakuha report. Again, this is John Rob Ubianda, and let's proceed to the last reporter. And I thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Injudy Sinet, and I am the last reporter. And my topic is all about the common problems of gas chromatography. So, first problem that we have when we are using gas chromatography is the column bleed. Column bleed stationary phase gradations causes distant drift or noise. The material inside the column breaks down, causing the baseline to drift or become noisy, makes the results messy and hard to read because of the extra background noise. Next, we have the pigtailing. Column overload, active sites or sample contaminations. The column is overloaded. There are active spots or the sample is contaminated. And by that, a pig looks stretched out instead of sharp. And it's hard to tell what exactly how much of something in your sample. Next, we have the ghost peaks. Ghost peaks contaminations from previous runs are septum bleed. A part of instrument is bleeding. It seems like there are things in the sample that isn't really there. And retention time variability. Temperature fluctuations, column stability, or pressure changes. And because of that problem, we can be sure if we are identifying the right substances of the sample. Next, we have the sample preparation issues. Inadequate extraction, contaminations, or sample degradation. Sample preparation issues is the sample wasn't extracted properly, it's contaminated, and also it's breaking down. And it's because the sample isn't properly cleaned or prepared. Next problem that we have to use the high performance liquid chromatography is first we have the noisy baseline and clear background signals. And the background signal is busy or moves up and down. This can be due to detector problems, temperature changes, and the liquid being contaminated. And by that, it's hard to see small amounts of the substances. Okay, next we have the peak overlap. Peak overlap is when the peaks mix together. This happens when the column doesn't separate things well enough or the sample is too complex. And next we have the detector issues. It causes detector malfunctions. Problems with the lamp, the flow cell part of the detector or electronic noise. By that, we cannot detect substances properly, so the results are unreliable. Next, we have the retention time changes. Substances show up at different times. So the temperature changes, the liquid mix changes, or the column being unstable. Because of that, we can be sure if we are identifying the right substances. And last, we have the method problems. It's so hard to find the right settings. It's hard to find the best liquid mix. That's because we don't separate the sample properly, and by that we don't get useful and reliable results. Problems when we are using gas chromatography, is it important to check, get regular maintenance, and prepare the samples properly so that we can get and ensure reliable DC performance. Activities for mobile and stationary phase. So, how things stick together in chromatography. So, in chromatography, affinity means how well different substances stick to the parts of the machine. In the stationary phase, in the mobile phases. So, in the stationary phase, polar columns holds polar stack longer, while ang non-polar column holds polar stack less. So, next we have the mobile phase. So, how the gas chromatography sticks together in liquid. So, first we have the polar liquid. Grabs polar stack, move it faster, while ang non-polar liquid doesn't grab polar stack well and move it slower. So, how the gas chromatography separate? How separation works in gas chromatography. Separation, substances separate based on how much they stick to the column versus the liquid. So, substances move between the column material and the liquid based on how they stick to each other. So, differences in how well substances stick to the things cause them to separate. This depends on their properties like being polar or non-polar. So, that's all my report. And once again, I am Angel D. Sinet, the last reporter.
So again, that's our report about the introduction to chromatographic methods. I hope nakasabot mo sa amuang i-discuss karon na day. Again, my name is John Rob Bianda.
And I am Crystal Sorna.
I am Angel D. Sinet.
We're Susana Asvidal.
And we are the last reporter. Thank you.